What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York, invading Ohio for Inkcarceration 2019, and we are here with Caleb and Alexia of I Set to Kill.
Hello.
Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, it's great to have you guys here super early in the morning. It's before all the chaos happens, so.
It's not that hot yet. That's cool.
Yeah.
And I hear it's going to get bad.
Yep, I think it's supposed to get really bad by the time you guys hit the stage tonight.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Sweating like crazy.
Yeah, we're 4 o'clock, 4:10, I think, so that's right when the heat's probably going to hit.
Yep. Enjoy. Yeah. I'll be in the shady media tent all day.
Definitely.
Yeah. But your latest record is self-titled. Do you guys just want to give a rundown? It came out in 2018. You just want to give a rundown on how the making of this record was and the record cycle thus far?
Well, we had a lot of time off to write it, so it was the first time we weren't like rushing. We're playing a lot of songs today from that. What else can I say about the record?
I don't know. It was really easygoing writing it. We did it with our friends Sam and Joe Graves. We got along really well with them. They were like the producers and engineers on it, and it was just a good time. And since we had a lot of it done already, it just went really easy.
Yeah.
Is every time a band puts out their self-titled record, like in the middle of their career, it always signifies something different. Like it happened with Avenged Sevenfold, it happened with Suicide Silence, it happened with Metallica. Was there like a reason that it was self-titled? Or
I think we were just really proud of it. So we felt like it kind of defined us in a way. So
it was our first album with no screaming on it at all whatsoever.
Too, yeah.
And that did define us as, I don't know, just what we're going for, I guess.
Was that a preconceived idea to kind of do away with the screaming, or did it just kind of happen?
No, it kind of naturally happened because we just went through so many members. Touring was kind of tough for some people, or just other stuff would happen on the road, and it wasn't ever like there was always the point where I really wanted to be singing more, but I don't feel like we had like the talk of like no screaming ever again.
It just kind of happened. We didn't technically have a screamer in the band anymore.
Yeah.
At the time when we were recording the record, it was her sister and her and I, and we were just doing the record with the producers. So it was we just wrote, and it's not like she was gonna scream, and I can't scream. I just play drums, so so we went for it. We just did an album with no screaming. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, it's funny because I've always thought that the music that you guys had is very experimental in terms of sound and vibes. Like a song like "The Listening," which is I go old school, but like is very different from a song like "Little Liar" and so on and so forth. So I'd imagine you guys feel many different emotions and are kind of like mad scientists in the songwriting process, right?
Totally. Yeah. It's fun.
We try. I don't like to make. I feel like there's a lot of bands out there that have like their vibe and their sound, and we do to an extent. But I feel like I don't want to write the same song twice. So that's probably why. And we love like all genres too. So we like to experiment with like metalcore, rock. So.
Well, it also says a lot with who you toured with. Like, you've done, like, the Warped Tour sort of crowd, but you've also played with a band like Lacuna Coil and so on and so forth. And you've mentioned you kind of, like, adjust your set list depending on, like, the tours or festivals that you're on, right?
Totally. Like, Warped Tour, we played some of our old Screamo stuff from 2006, and for today, we're going to play, like, all our new stuff. Yeah.
Couple oldies.
Couple oldies
For us old school underground.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always.
And I'd imagine, is there kind of like a different reaction to your music or a different type of crowd depending on the tours that you're on?
I mean, definitely. I mean, say Lacuna Coil's Sick Puppies tour, it was more of a radio rock crowd.
An older crowd,
and
too.
At the time, we didn't have a screamer when we did that tour, so we just played all our no screaming songs from our album Masks, and all that was pretty much like new metal radio rock, and it went great. It went over great. Yeah.
Now, being that you kind of, in a way, answered this question, but you have so many albums out now, at this point in your career, you mentioned that you do still like to experiment, but is there like a usual go-to mode that you guys have when songwriting that kind of applies to all your catalog? It's still your voice. I feel like it ties your whole catalog in together, but...
I feel like the only thing that we kind of keep the same now is I try and write the vocals first. And then we build everything around it, like even the drums, we want to make sure that it's not like clashing or whatnot.
That is a new
But I mean, it
method.
wasn't like that in the beginning. In the beginning, we were just like a bunch of kids writing whatever.
Yep.
Now we played it out a little better.
So you have vocals written before the arrangement of the whole song?
Like I'll have the chord progression, and then I'll write the vocal part. And sometimes the chords will just change, or it'll turn into a riff later. But I just have like
A riff or
the
something.
the main chord progression just to write the melody first.
Do you like to leave your lyrics open to interpretation, or do you try to maybe inform a listener and try to get the listener to see things from your point of view?
I do me first, and then when I look through the lyrics, because they change a lot, I try to make sure people can relate to it or understand what I'm saying. Just because a lot of them are like relationship songs or just internal struggles that I feel like a lot of people can relate to. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why like we started doing music, is because we relate to music in that way. So I want to do the same for, our listeners.
Kind of use pain as a paintbrush in a way.
Yes.
And I have 2 more questions for you guys, but I've been asking every artist actually on the festival this, but playing a festival like Inkcarceration versus, or a Warped Tour or something like that, versus like playing like a regular show, like on a regular tour,
Yeah.
how different of an experience is it for you as a band when you're playing on like an outdoor festival? I'd imagine the sound is different, the vibe is different, the temperature is definitely different, but is it like a different, for lack of better words, like fulfillment or just experience playing at a festival like this versus playing a regular show?
I feel like we remember it more.
Yeah, it's always more
memorable.
memorable. It's cool to like not have the whole show be like on you. Like if say we're headlining, it's like, all right, what are we? Hopefully we're pulling a good crowd tonight. So it's very stress free. It's always like everyone takes care of you. People are giving us rides around everywhere. It's always fun to see all the bigger bands, but it's always a good vibe. It's just fun.
And this festival itself is also fairly diverse too. So like I think people are into all sorts of heavier stuff or rock stuff or anything like that.
Definitely, and it's such a good opportunity for us to try and gain some new fans.
Yeah.
And just do our thing.
And the final question I want to ask you, just one little fun question, because all 3 of us have Triforce tattoos.
Yes.
Just a quick, you said Ocarina of Time is your favorite Zelda game. What is yours?
I was old school, and I started on the NES. I had the original, and then the second one, Link's Awakening, and then I also am a fan of Link to the Past. But yeah, Ocarina of Time is like the best, I'd say. Even though I started with the old school ones, which I'm proud that I did.
What do you guys think of Breath of the Wild, if you played it yet?
I haven't played.
I haven't played it yet. Like I've like
It's 3 of us.
I've like chopped up some fucking. Oh, oops, sorry. I've chopped up some people or gathered some meat or whatever you can do and like kill animals and stuff. That was kind of fun, but I haven't dived into it yet.
Yeah, I heard it's a pain in the ass.
Really?
Or like it's really hard to like.
Long game, yeah.
And
I
like,
got stuck in. I remember getting stuck in Majora's Mask for a while. I had to like take a break. I can't remember what part, but I got really frustrated that I took a break from the game for an entire week.
I've had that game since I was 6 years old, and I still can't beat it. So I know exactly what you mean. And that game, if Salvador Dali made a video game, that would be Majora's Mask. Oh,
I could see that.
yeah, that's I thought the most metal Zelda game that's out there. So before we go, I'd like to thank you guys so much for your time today. Is there just anything else that you would like to promote for the self-titled record cycle in terms of tours, or when could we be expecting some new music?
We put out a music video of a cover song
Okay.
by Charlie Puth. It's called Attention, and we're playing it tonight. And
Check out the music video. But we are writing new music.
Yeah.
And hopefully maybe be in the studio this fall or winter, maybe early next year.
Early next
We have
year,
really no
probably.
plans yet, but it's gonna happen.
Yes.
Awesome. So maybe new music by 2020.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Everybody,
Yep.
we are here with Eyes Set to Kill. Pick up the self-titled record if you haven't already. This is Alex from Heavy New York, and we'll see you next time. Incarceration 2019.